Hey, everybody, welcome back to our fantasy game. I'm your host, the Game Master. And before we get into it, make sure you smash like, check to see if you're subscribed, and leave us a comment. That helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, but also we would love to hear from you guys. So, having said all of that, let's get into it. The party, after a whole lot of lead up, has finally fought their way to the center of the swamp to the island where the frog temple is. They finally enter the dungeon and they find themselves in room number 1, which is also known as the temple nave. Here they encounter a lone acolyte in what looks sort of like a church sanctuary. He's only got an armor class of 11 and 6 hit points, so the heroes are able to take him out with ease. Then they look to their right and they see an open door which leads into room number 9, which is a guard room. And in here, there are 6 frog folk. And weirdly enough, each one of them is armed with a heavy blaster because, as it turns out, these things are actually aliens. And this temple of theirs is actually way more high tech than the players were expecting. That said, many of them rolled 1d10 for their hit points. So when they get shot by a blaster that does 6d8 damage, right? It is a massive attack that they're not really ready for. So the party's dwarf is killed in the first shot of the game, right? After that, the others manage to swarm into the room. They kill all these guards. But the dwarf was just the first one to fall, but he's not the last before this adventure is going to be over, right? So while they're in this part of the dungeon, they find some stairs that go up to the second floor, but for right now, they ignore those. They double back, and the dungeon is pretty symmetrical. So they go to the left side of the map to room number 9's counterpart, which is room number 5. And this is the sexton's quarters. And in here, they find 6 more frog soldiers, but these guys are using crossbows, so the PCs are able to take them out without anybody dying. Then it's on to room number 6, where they fight 12 frog soldiers armed with crossbows. After that, they finally make their way to room number 21 on the map, which is also known as the Guardian's Office. And in here, they encounter a displacer beast named Schrodinger, as well as a frog boss named Lynn Rop. He has an armor class of 20, 44 hit points, and a hand blaster that does 3d12 damage. The party's elf casts continual light on the eyes of his pet displacer beast, which blinds it. But the frog boss then fires that blaster, and he manages to kill both the halfling thief and Brad's character. So now half the party is dead. The cleric and the elf fire blasters at the boss, but he has a magic item called a Scarab of Protection, preventing their energy-based attacks from hurting him. So the elf and cleric change tactics and they target the displacer beast and they're able to kill it. And then Flit, the pixie, uses his invisibility and his sneak attack to kill the frog boss and avenge his 2 fallen friends. There's only a few frog aliens left on the first floor of the temple, so the PCs take them out, grab the treasure, and retreat. Because after all of this, they're really low on hit points and they need a long rest to heal up before they can return for more. And they can't do that here because it's too dangerous. So they go back to that farmhouse. And that was it for this one. Believe it or not, this basically took us all afternoon to play it. It was a rainy day, which was kind of fitting considering they were doing stuff with frogs in a swamp. Um, and to be brutally honest, this one was a bummer, you know. It always sucks when just one character dies. It really sucks to literally have half the party wiped out, you know? Um, and then it sucks even more when we haven't been able to play for something like 6 months, right? And then when you finally get back in the saddle, this happens. So at the end of the day, I think it's pretty safe to say that my players were demoralized and kind of depressed, that seemed like they were waiting for a long time and looking forward to this for a long time only to kind of have their hopes dashed. Um, but it is what it is. So usually I say we liked playing it. We did not actually like playing this one. Um, but hopefully it was still interesting. Um, as always, it would help us grow the channel if you guys were willing to hit like and all that jazz. And that's it from me for now. Hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.